Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be showing the location and the exploration of the Darklight Catacombs, starting off at the Recluse's River downstream site of Grace, and we'll make our way to the dungeon. If you already know the location of the dungeon, skip to 1:14 of the video, and if you're not sure how to get to the initial site of Grace, you can check out how to get to the Abyssal Woods video, which is up on the channel. That shows a more in-depth guide of how to get to the dungeon. We're now at the dungeon. This is a little bit different to the other catacombs. Here we have some levers that will turn on the lights of the dungeon. Initially it's very dark, hence the name, and we'll need to pull those levers to see where we're going. Again, you don't have to pull the levers, you can just blitz through the dungeon, but to pick up the items it's way easier to have the lights on. We're going to ignore this room on the left. There's a series of ladders here that you can take to go deeper into the dungeon, but you'll end up missing some items, so we're going in this direction instead. Here's one of the ladders I was talking about earlier. If you do want to go up into the dungeon back to the site of Grace, you can just take those ladders. We're just coming to the first lift in the dungeon. Again, like the other catacombs, you want to be finding these lifts to go deeper into the dungeon so you know you're on the right lines. We're just going to ignore this room on the left for now. There are a few enemies that do ambush you and are quite tricky to deal with, so we're going to go round here and deal with them, so it shouldn't be an issue. Much like before, there's another series of ladders here you can take to go deeper into the dungeon. This is probably the quickest route if you just want to get through to the Abyssal Woods, but if you want to collect all the items, you'll need to follow the route I'm showing here. We're just coming to an annoying encounter. You can see I died previously. You want to stay by the side of this wall, blocking out the AoE attacks, and when it's on cooldown you can quickly deal with the enemy. So we're just coming to another tricky part of the dungeon. There's this giant imp cannon firing at you, so you want to get to it as close as possible so you can stay out of its line of fire. There's a couple little statues here below which you want to deal with, as they can be quite annoying if you ignore them. And then we want to turn the third and final light lever, and this will obviously turn the lights on in the dungeon, but it'll also lower that platform so you can deal with the cannon. And you just want to weave here out of its fire, because yeah, it hits pretty hard. And further down these steps is the way to the boss. If you do want to go back up to where the giant cannon was, you can just take the staircase to the right here. We're finally at the boss now, and can be quite tricky. It's more difficult than the other Catacombs bosses. I haven't showcased all the footage, but basically has a lot of ranged attacks, but yeah, if you summon your Mimic Tear, should deal with the boss no problem. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe for more.